In order to give some insight into the type of negotiations that occur within public arts practice, how has the work changed since it was originally commissioned? Was there always going to be a performance space or stage?
The idea was... Well, Charles saw it as a he had the vision for a staircase that could be used for performance. And that performance could be people sitting having lunch, or people running up and down it. Or it is a flexible structure. Sorry, it could be, and it is turning out to be, a structure that is going to invite a number of responses. So there's no one method of performance or presentation or representation that thing is about. Today we had a conversation about, I hope it doesn't rain for the month. Well, actually it may do. And at least it's an entry into another form of entry into this building, which in itself is going to be performance. The design changed. Charles has built up a lot of confidence from people in Preston on previous projects that, that initial idea that when a public project is presented, there are a lot of, that's not going to work, or I'm going to need extra comfort before I allow this to happen. Well, he's gone through that a number of years before. And so now, maybe he shielded me from it, but our only constraint was between he and I about what we could afford and what we felt would work visually and thematically. And what's been really exciting is everyone's gone along with it, trusted him and me to a certain extent.
I guess that leads on to my next question, really. What do you hope that the audience in the city of Preston will take away from the intervention?
I work from an old, what used to be a derelict chapel on the A20 in Lewisham, 17th century chapel. And I have to open it 30 days a year. And I'm always really excited by the responses people have to that building. Can I come in? What is it? Tell me a story. And it's a direct interaction. And exactly the same thing was going on yesterday when we got 10 guys setting up an aluminium standard staging system. And people were gathering around the Harris fencing. What is it? What's going on? Is it free? There were a whole series of questions about how people approach in their own way, the clues to how they approach in different ways about what this really quick, massive change to the square is about, and that's really exciting. I don't forget the people, coming on, before getting to the people of Preston, going through that process, we who think we've drawn it out, we've talked about it, we've in a way controlled the knowledge of this project. Even we've learned different things about it. We've seen the Harris in totally different ways. We've seen Preston in different ways, higher, lower. It's quite remarkable what it does to what we think we know. And then people were gathering around, and really interesting responses, like a young couple from Preston see a banner that's been up for about 3 years, I think, saying, "Now open." And they made the connection that morning that this staircase linked to the sign, and therefore the Harris for the first time was now open because of the staircase. So I don't know, it's it's great just picking up how people are sitting in Doof, the cafe. Someone comes in and asks, "What's going on in the square? What's it about?" And it's really exciting to me. It's a real buzz to be involved in a project that's doing that.
The press release states that the project aims to build on the legacy of the Guild. I was just hoping you could explain further on that.
Okay, the Guild, if you take it, if I took that simply for the Guild of last year, a series of events, actually the legacy of the Guild, we got in touch with this company because it turned out with what little budget we had, the only way we could afford a staircase was by the same people who built the staging in the Guild Square last year, the other way around, facing the wall. So we knew there were people who for a start, knew where Preston was and knew what the Harris Museum was. And it's about building on that. You know, you've got a 1 in 20 year cycle of procession.
In certain places, traverses and temporary interventions, do you think that the transitory nature of the project will spark debate about long-term fixtures and changes to the city?
Well, Charles is convinced that we've got to the position with an international competition for the main square, and then now the restoration and extension of the War Memorial coming out of that competition. As a result of a whole series, a programme of events and convincing people that artists could produce work that is challenging or questioning aspects and supplementing activities within the public realm. We keep joking about how this will maybe change ways that Harris is approached and entered. We know people come into the library, but there's still a break between the library, people using the library, and then venturing upstairs to the first floor. Hopefully this act should learn, and we need to learn more about why people might not engage or enter historic buildings and art galleries if the clues are slightly remote or different. I think what's really exciting is the opportunity that this could become an annual or a biannual event. It's a very simple structure. I want to see what the impact is of the events that are taking place on it. I think that's going to be the really exciting thing, and then hopefully people could really start to build momentum and compete. I think what we've ended up with through Charles' vision is a unique event. It was quite fantastic. The guys who built the stair they're building event staging all over Britain on annual cycles. They have never used their system against an existing building or as a way of working with an existing building. So that's going to be quite exciting.
Do you think that the project will help gain a national profile for the city?
I don't know. Do we care? I think we need to be proud of it. It's more about a local pride. Proud Preston. I've given up trying to wonder how one gets a national profile and what triggers international comment or national comment. At one level, I'm not interested. It's more about how people will use this place here. And if others want to take part in it,